Okay, welcome back everyone to part 5 of Let's Build Kings Island. This episode we start work on constructing a B&M Hyper Coaster. For those of you unaware, the one that I'm talking about is Diamondback. Awesome B&M Hyper Coaster. This is one of the first that Cedar Fair installed themselves when they bought Kings Island from Paramount. It's around like 230 feet in height. That's why I always turn on my height markers as soon as I start building a new coaster. So, and this ride fits right in beautifully with the park. It may not have the exact layout, but it does fit snug with the amount of space that we have to work with in this entire park. That one section back there behind the beast. And here we go with the big drop. In this first hill, you really get launched out of your seat. I couldn't really build it too high because of the amount of space. Like that's the edge of the park right there, so we immediately had to turn. I probably should have built it up higher, and then as we were going down, then twist out. But I wanted it to match a little bit more closely to the actual layout. So I'm trying to just get so we could do the large turn rather than having a really sharp turn. You don't really want to do very, sharp turns on the B&M Hyper Coaster, especially when you're going that fast. That's for something not as big. Just a tip when building coasters in this game. Like the G's there would just be way too much for anybody to handle. And then I am going through different car selections, making sure I get the right one. Now, for those of you who don't know, the actual Diamondback has these stagger seated. So if you ever seen like Sky Rush at my home park at Hershey Park, it has 2 in the front and 2 on the side. This one kind of has the trains that match more closely to Orion and Nitro at Six Flags Great Adventure, if you've seen or ridden that ride, and Candemonium that just opened this past year at Hershey Park. And then we're gonna go ahead, like I said right before this, you already see how this ride's gonna turn out. It fits really nice and snug back there behind the beast. And uses up all the space I wanted to use up in this park when I initially designed it. I can't believe we're almost done. We only have a few more rides to do. This is one of the last rides. I do believe I do construct Banshee with you guys, but I've actually finished the park since. Like I think I mentioned in the last video, so in a few short time I'm actually going to record the final episode. And then we'll take a look at what I've built. I was able to build Banshee, as you guys will be seeing in the next episode. That turned out really nicely. We were able to build Mystic Timbers. Didn't turn out as great as I wanted to. And then finally we were able to build Orion, which kind of had because of the height and we couldn't have a straight down drop. when you see Orion, it kind of has a twist drop, but the rest of the layout, I feel like, kind of matches the best I could with that ride. So if you've seen Expedition G-Force at Holiday Park in Germany, that's what I'm kind of talking about with the Orion. This park is not an exact replica. I mean, if you really want to do something like that, you better play Planet Coaster or something, but not this game. You're not really given too much with this game. It's kind of like, yeah, just play, and that's what I like about it. So here we're constructing the big turnaround. Going back. And you will see a jump cut here coming up. Because the game, with this many coasters and all the guests in the park, does get very laggy. So we wanted to fix that. And we're just figuring out if it can make it. And as you can see, it comes over with tremendous speed. In the end result, I felt turned out nicely. All my Hyper Coasters, usually I do a nice job with them. I've always liked how they look. I feel like, you know, they're very graceful and beautiful, and just their airtime hills are just amazing. So here we are, where I've constructed up to the mid-course brake run, and we're going to do the home run stretch here, which consists of a few airtime hills, a helix, and then that classic splashdown that we all know from Diamondback. And we're going to the first drop. Bringing it on home. We have two Camelbacks right here, a little bit higher. Make it a little bit more floater airtime rather than ejector. Also, getting back to my earlier segment about what the park turned out, I was able to fit in a drop tower, drop tower screen zone, and I was able to build a train around it, as well as delirium. So I think, you know, as well as place a few more stalls and bathrooms. In the end, I did have to remove the Flight of Fear building that I built around it, but you guys already seen that in the first episode, so it's just Flight of Fear takes up a lot of. I do believe I did have to remove. I did have to remove the entire building, and so when we ride that for the final part, we'll probably ride that ride at night or something. Because the ride does look great and really cool. Because it's on, rather than grass, it's on black tarmac. So it looks like you're on the moon, or. So it looks cool. And like I said, here's a splashdown. We have to use our terrain tools here to actually, but yeah, like I said, that worked out exactly like I wanted to. And then here we go back into the brake run. and I'm trying to figure out how we're gonna be able to do this. But and how we can get it to fit behind the walk one right there. But I think after this part and we do our final tour, we'll move on to a different part, and I will probably be a lot more updated and hope to be like I do have to record these videos ahead of time. I am a college student and my major is ridiculously difficult. I am going into my senior year of college. I have a senior project we are working on and a few tough classes, but I've always made it through. And I always turn low friction on all my coasters. And here I come back to show you the final touches. Always save your work. Always save your work before you're done. I learned that lesson the hard way back in episode 3. As you saw on camera. That was horrible. And save it when it's also getting laggy, because you never know. And it is a bitch to deal with. But then there is the final splashdown area. And of course add some terrain behind it just to show up. So the ride, and as well as the path leading up to it. And like I said, there's the building that I had to remove. But anyway, that's about gonna do it for this episode. Before my phone ran out of battery. But yeah, it turned out to be a really nice coaster, filled in, you know, a really big gap. Right there, we're gonna be working on Mystic Timbers in a few episodes. And yeah, it's starting to come together. Alright, take care. Bye-bye.